and unabashed atheist, and I'm alarmed by the intrusions of religion into our secular government. That's why I'm asking you to support the Freedom from Religion Foundation, the nation's largest and most effective association of atheists and agnostics, working to keep state and church separate, just like our founding fathers intended. Please support the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Ron Reagan, Life.
I would like to wish a happy Hanukkah to everyone celebrating in Britain and across the world. And it feels the right time to be thinking about the message of hope, which is so central to the Hanukkah festival. At Hanukkah, Jewish people celebrate the miracle of light. When the temple was desecrated, the Jews only had enough oil to light the lamps for 1 day. But the oil lasted for 8 days. Part of the miracle was not just that the light lasted, but that people were hopeful enough to light the oil in the first place. Their faith was an inspiration. The lights are a continuing symbol of hope, of light against the darkness. What inspires me most is that Jews have continued to light their candles for over 2,000 years. They've been lit in the worst times, during the Spanish Inquisition, in occupied France, in the gulags, and in Bergen-Belsen. The light tells us about how essential hope is to the human spirit. And right now, hope is so important. We face deep divisions in our country and grave challenges: poverty, inequality, and a climate crisis. Our communities now face the threat of years of policies that won't heal divisions or end inequality, and a crucial period to tackle the climate emergency will be lost. But hope is all around us. The Jewish community is carrying that flame of hope. Synagogues doing drop-in centres for refugees, housing the homeless, and raising money for charities are a model for all of us. And we need to look no further than young people who are leading the way on the climate and environment emergency and social justice. They don't just give us hope for the future, they are the future. So this Hanukkah, we think of those lights burning bright. Hanukkah Sameach.
I just want you to know that, like, you guys are obviously not true Christians. If you were, you would actually preach God's word. You
says the guy who makes gay rap music
Okay, you know
videos.
what? God says not to judge. Why are you judging so harshly?
You know,
You're not God.
I didn't.
Happy early Hanukkah to all of you. Your 2020 platform calling for every public official to commit to defunding the occupation in Palestine is one that I can support very strongly.
This is gross. Why can't she just wish us happy Hanukkah? Would she say happy Ramadan to all the Muslims fighting the Islamic occupation of Mecca? Or happy Christmas to all the Catholics fighting the Catholic occupation of the Vatican? No. She'd just say happy Ramadan or happy Christmas. Yet here she is, hijacking a Jewish festival to attack Jews. And here's the irony of it all. Hanukkah actually celebrates Jews fighting off a foreign army that was occupying Judea. Where's Judea, you might ask? Well, it made up most of the West Bank, and when the Romans conquered Judea from the Jews, they renamed it to erase its Jewish roots. Places like Shechem became Neapolis, and the wider region, including Judea, became Syria-Palestina, which leads us back to Rashida. It's most likely Rashida belongs to the Harb tribe from Arabia, hence her maiden name, Harbi. When the Islamic armies came from Arabia and conquered Israel, they adopted the Roman names. Neapolis became Nablus, Syria-Palestina became Palestine. Did you catch that? Rashida's celebrating Jewish independence in Judea by describing the Jews that live there as occupiers. If she finds Jews living in the West Bank so offensive, it's probably best to skip the Hanukkah message. Thanks for watching. Make sure that you follow us on all of our social medias for more videos like this. We're on YouTube, Facebook.
It's heartbreaking to see how many people need to be fed. These children. Yeah.
By not wishing me a Merry Christmas, you are not being inclusive. You are excluding me from one of my nation's national holidays. But even if Christmas were not a national holiday, I would want pilots to wish their passengers Merry Christmas, companies to have Christmas parties, and schools to continue to have Christmas vacations. Just because I don't personally celebrate Christmas, why would I want to drop the word Christmas when the holiday is celebrated by 90% of my fellow Americans? It borders on the misanthropic, not to mention the mean-spirited, to want to deny nearly all of your fellow citizens the joy of having Christmas parties or being wished a Merry Christmas. The vast majority of Americans who celebrate Christmas and who treat non-Christians so well.
Keep your ding-dong in your pants and don't say nasty phrases. To yourself, please keep your hands, control your hands. We should not have to say this if you don't know. You're already see your butt in a courtroom. Don't say words like slut and don't say slut and hoe at work or any setting. Yes means yes and no means no means no means no. This clearly needs restating. It's not that hard to rap without consent. Go show your little friend to someone who's not asked. It's not a task to be a decent person and not be a sex monster. And if you've broken the rules, assaulting and harassing, it's now time to pay your dues for unwanted ass grabbing. The times have changed and you should be ashamed if you're a man in power who's acted like Malabar or wifey or a war or like the current president. Your past is going to haunt you. It's not that hard to kiss without consent. Don't show your little friend to someone who's not asked. It's not a task to be a decent person and not be a sex monster.
Merry Christmas, Canada. Today, our family joins Christians everywhere to celebrate the birth of Christ. This time of year is full of joy, light, and traditions, whether it's wrapping gifts, choosing the perfect tree, or keeping the roof clear for the reindeer. Some of us are getting together with the whole family. Others are sharing a table with friends. Maybe you're keeping the kids entertained in the snow or taking it easy and catching up with loved ones. Whatever we're doing, Christmas is a time to celebrate Christ's message of compassion and show people we love them. It's the season for giving and for giving back, from supporting folks in need in our communities to reaching out to neighbors who might be alone for the holidays. And we're especially thinking of our service members here in Canada and overseas who give so much to our country. Thank you for everything you do. You know, one of the greatest holiday traditions is taking care of each other, and it's something Canadians do all year round. Rain or shine or snow, we show up for each other because that's who we are. So today, let's come together and let's move forward together in the new year. From our family to yours.
We're making history today. City Hall, for the first time ever, is opening its doors to homeless Londoners. And the idea is homeless Londoners can come to City Hall today at this special time of year to have a fantastic festive meal. They'll get to take part in activities and games, listen to a great gospel choir. They can have a haircut, they can have their eyes tested, but also, if they've got a dog, they can have it seen by a vet. The idea is to give a special experience to people who have got a tough time.
It's about having fun and enjoying yourself and actually feeling human and actually being part of something bigger.
And we can't underestimate how one interaction and one event can build your self-esteem.
Well, that really makes a big difference to your psychological and mental well-being.
They've made the connection, you know, between the services that they're in and the fact that, you know, where the funding is coming from and how the mayor's trying to support people and lift people out of rough sleeping.
We've more than doubled our budget, double the amount of outreach workers, and doing more and more.
The category is non-denominational Christmas eleganza.
You didn't really think I was going to miss the opportunity to wish you a Merry Christmas, did you? It's been a pretty good year, and I'm grateful to have my health back. And in light of that, I've made some changes in my life, and I'd like to invite you to join me. As we walk into 2020, I want to cast my vote for more good in this world.
Ah, yes, I know what you're thinking. Can he be serious?
I'm dead serious. And it's not that hard, trust me. The next time someone does something you don't like, you can go on the attack, but you can also hold your fire and do the unexpected. You can kill them with kindness.
It becomes public because many of those practices from the West are rooted in Christianity. And these celebrations actually harm us. Now, the West is a multicultural society. It's not like Kuwait. We're talking apples and oranges. Over there is no right and wrong except what the government and the people decide is right and what they decide is wrong. If tomorrow they want to make it illegal to walk down the street wearing a hat, they can do that. But we are a Muslim society. Our constitution is based on the Sharia. And as Muslims, we believe that nobody is above God in legislating. So when we allow these things to happen, we have to be very careful. Because if you have a celebration like Christmas, perhaps, in Christmas, what is it? It's the celebration. It's not something giving gifts and having fun and singing carols. It's actually the celebration of the birth of the Son of God, who is God himself in flesh. So God himself came and was given birth by Mary to create Jesus, who is God. So when we say that this is okay, we are not respecting the religion, we are participating. And there's a difference between respect and participation. When you participate in something, you are saying that it is valid, that this is acceptable, that this is something that we as a society consider to be correct. But in the Quran, Allah says, "Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad, wa lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad." He is not born, he was not procreated, he is not anything. He's not the Son, he's not the Father, there is only one God. So when we accept these celebrations and we propagate them throughout the society, what's happening is we're accepting that. We're saying, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with saying that God has a son. You know, today I was reading that in one of the Christian websites, we as Christians have to accept that Mary, the creation of God, brought forth her creator. This is the idea. This is Christmas. And all of the celebrations of the West are rooted in.
Here we are late into the season. We've got battles here in the house, but we should all take a moment, not just here in America, but around the world, what Christmas means. The grace of God. And one thing that we do, we love our Christmas. We have our rituals, we have our traditions. We go from Christmas Eve over to my cousins, to Christmas Eve dinner, to Christmas itself. But one thing my family will do is go down and feed at the mission. Judy serves on the mission board. And it helps those from drugs, from homeless and others. It puts it in perspective to give back. And we should remember that probably more in this season than in any other time. Whatever divides us is not that great.
Merry Christmas to all our Christian friends in Israel and around the world. The state of Israel is the culmination of so many prophecies and our deepest held values. We share the common civilization, Judeo-Christian civilization, that has given the world the values of freedom, individual liberty, the sanctity of life, the belief in one God. We are proud of our traditions. We are proud of our Christian friends. The state of Israel would not have come into being if it weren't for the avid support of Christians in the 19th century, in the 20th century as well, and in the 21st century. We know that we have no better friends around the world than our Christian friends. So thank you. Thank you all for standing up with Israel, standing up for the truth.
I would like to wish everyone a very happy Christmas. People around the world come together to celebrate the birth of Jesus and his message of love, hope, and peace. That message is more important now than ever. This has been a difficult year for many of us. We didn't succeed in delivering the change that so many people desperately need. But Christmas is a chance to listen, reflect, and remember all the things that bind us together. Our compassion, our determination to tackle injustice, and our hope for a better world. At Christmas, too often the scale of injustice and inequality is in very plain sight. As people hurry home through our busy high streets, often loaded with shopping bags, seeing those who have no homes and no hope beside them. Adverts for mouth-watering Christmas meals, when we know that many children are hungry. And while we celebrate being together, we're reminded of the many who will be alone and sadly lonely at Christmas. But our communities are built on generosity and the solidarity that comes from that. So we don't walk by on the other side. This Christmas, I know so many people will be out supporting those less fortunate, helping in food banks, working in shelters, and trying to find children who are homeless emergency shelter. And our brilliant National Health Service workers and all those who work in other public services who will keep us safe over Christmas. Together, we have the power to bring about change in our communities and to make a real difference to the lives of others. Together, let's do all we can to make this a country that cares for the many and not the few, and do everything we can to reach out to neighbours and build that sense of togetherness, not just for Christmas, but for all the months and years ahead. Can I wish you all a very happy Christmas and a good new year.